Hello everyone, this is Jimmy Singh, broker owner, Supermax Realty, 647-961-2639, or you can reach me at supermaxrealty.ca. In today's video, I like to talk about the real estate market trends which I am noticing currently in January first week of 2022, and what is the predictions for this year, especially the first quarter of 2022 for Greater Toronto Area, Golden Horseshoe, Hamilton, Kitchener, London, Sarnia and Windsor real estate markets. So friends, for the past 21-22 months, it has been the wildest ride in the real estate history. Nobody expected the house prices surge to record-breaking highs in all the small markets, mid-tier markets, even the bigger markets. We have seen appreciation of 20%, 32%, 30%, and interest rates, they have dropped to historically lows. Inflation, supply chain issues, shortage of materials, labors have all made it a very daunting for first time buyers to enter current real estate market. At the same time, I have seen the existing homeowners, they are put in very advantageous positions. They have seen their equity grown substantially in last 2 years. Hence, many have tapped and taken advantage of historically low interest rates, refinance at record numbers, and invested in real estate. Lot of you have called me and asked, in last year or last 6 months, even in the last quarter, are we in a bubble? Friends, timing the market is very tricky. So if you are a buyer sitting or waiting on a sidelines, hoping and praying for the market to cool off, chances are very unlikely that we can see a substantial decrease anytime soon. So I see the buyers can expect a tighter competitive market, especially in the first quarter heading into 2022. And this year, Canada welcomed 401,000 new permanent residents in Canada in the past year of 2021, which has actually surpassed the record year set in 1913. 1913 was the year that has the highest people migrating to Canada. So the question is, when can this thing calm down? See folks, housing cycle can be very long cycle. Might as well this year 2022 can be exact repeat of 2021. So market trends, they don't care if we are sitting year 2021, 2022 or year 2023. We have seen 2 consecutive years of double-digit growth in home values. Fact is, the supply issues we faced in 2020 during pandemic became worst heading into 2021. And right now, sitting in the first week of January 2022, I am seeing the conditions much tougher and tighter if we compare the inventories, especially in southwestern Ontario, Canada. And recently, Canadian Real Estate Association put out a stat, and they said at this time, there's only 4 times in the history of the country where as a nation, we are seeing month of inventory dropped below 2 months. So if you watch my videos at my channel, Real Estate Edge with Jimmy Singh, I've been updating most of my clients last year all along, telling them that the cities I work, especially London, Kitchener-Waterloo, Windsor, Sarnia, Brampton, Mississauga. I'm noticing whole year inventory less than 1 month. Sometimes it's 0.5 month supply, meaning if no new house come on the market, we have only half month of homes available for the population. I logged in the system 1st of January just to see what is the supply, in the marketplace. For the London, as of the 1st January 2022, there was only 73 listings available for sale in the market, meaning the sellers are holding tight their properties. And out of 73 listings in London, only 51 detached homes were for sale, 5 townhomes, and 17 condominiums. When I checked Brampton, we had only 103 freehold homes for the entire Brampton and only 17 condos for sale. If I see Mississauga, we have only 110 freeholds available for sale on 1st of January 2022 and 121 condos. Mississauga has a bigger condo market in GTA. And if I talk about Milton, Milton has only 36 freeholds and 9 condos. If I go to east of GTA, Durham region, Ajax, Oshawa, Pickering, Ajax has only 18 listings. Oshawa has 37 freehold and 20 condominiums. If I talk about Toronto, Toronto had only 577 freehold listings, whereas last year, same month in January, Toronto has 1011 listings, meaning we are now sitting at half of the supply if I compare last year. And condos in Toronto is 1326, which is, kind of same if I see historically average for the last 4 years. So friends, what we have to understand is what are the main drivers. So there's bunch of drivers, which dictate our real estate market. Let's talk about interest rates. There's a lot of talk about what happens if the interest rate goes up. So last time when the interest rate, risen, in a substantial manner, that was year 2018, when we have 3 interest raises at the same year and 3 interest hike, plus hand in hand they did stress test in the mortgages, which decreased 20% purchasing power of the buyers. That time the economy was doing very, very well. So they put all these, constraints, hence the market slowed down. But again, only increasing interest rate won't do much. There has to be other, levers in the economy. The government has to make some changes to make a bigger dent in this market, to make it more affordable. And heading to 2022, we are already qualifying at the stress rate of 5.25%. So I believe we are very well prepared to weather any rate hike in year 2022, which is this year. And government is proposing maybe mid of this year, they'll consider looking at how the economy is doing, how the new variant of virus is affecting our lifestyle. And fixed mortgage rate need to, go up 3.25% before the amount current buyers qualify will be under test again. So I don't see much impact of 1 or 2 quarter point hikes this year, but they will do maybe few basis points. So let's see, wait and watch. It's still floating. And our Canadian Real Estate Association, they put up a forecast saying they expect the home prices all across Canada on average to rise 7.6%. Folks, real estate market is very local, and my team at Supermax Realty, we service pretty much all Golden Horseshoe from Niagara Falls, Pickering, Greater Toronto area, Kitchener-Waterloo, Windsor, Sarnia, London. So I believe in some of these, mid-tier markets, smaller markets, the price will appreciate between 9.5 to 11.5 or 12%. Because if I see downtown Toronto, there's still main offices in downtown Toronto. They're still closed. People are still working from home, and people are still seeking a bigger place to raise their family. And I see the trend of young families, newcomers to Canada, inter-provincial migration. They will be the key drivers of our real estate market in 2022. And again, mostly the buyers, I tell them, this year is again very tight with the supply. And if you can buy your home, which you love, and afford the monthly payments, and you have some savings sitting in your bank, go for the home ownership. Home ownership is the biggest wealth building tool available to us in Canada, because there is no capital gain. And you can slowly go up the property ladder. And the other major driver in the marketplace, that our big market, especially Greater Toronto Area, Brampton, Mississauga, Toronto, even the cities which have seen explosive growth in last 2 years, Kitchener-Waterloo, Technology Triangle, London, St. Thomas, Windsor. I have noticed people in these markets, they were in the market for last 5, 10, 15 years owning a property, and now this market is not driven by income, but they are driven by equity. So we are working in an equity driven market where people own an asset for long period of time, and now they are upgrading from a condo or a townhouse, or they are pulling their equity to buy real estate for their retirement. So don't read the media where it says market is going to crash because how income is going to income and house prices, there is no correlation. Friends, most big cities around the world, they are exactly the same. I'm from India. If I have to go back to Bombay in prime location, or New Delhi, if I have to go to Paris, Hong Kong, Shanghai, income and house prices have no correlation. Just keep in mind, you can't have a 50,000 income and buy a house in a major city anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, even in small towns, I'm noticing these days. So we have to, be proactive in upgrading our skill set, create a side hustle, because if a family is making a 6-figure income of 100,000, it is challenging for them to get into Toronto real estate market as of today, because there's always restricted supply in Toronto area, Greater Toronto Area. It is landlocked. One side, is the water, Lake Ontario, other is the green belt. So there'll be always limited buildable land, and most of the time we can't have too much supply to keep up with the demand. Second, as I said, the biggest driver would be the immigration, and most of the immigrants who come to Canada, they only want to live where there's employment opportunities, where there is world-class education, universities, and diverse mix of cultures. And Ontario, especially Greater Toronto Area, Golden Horseshoe, and any mid or small tier cities in southwestern Ontario fit the bill. And we have one of the longest and busiest highway in North America, which is Highway 401. I've been telling my clients to invest west side of 401, all these cities, for the last 7 years, and they have exploded. If you talk about Woodstock, you talk about London, you talk about Windsor, Chatham. So these are all connected to US and Canada, and there's a lot of cargo, flight, and stuff that move on Highway 401, even 402, Sarnia. And I see these towns and cities will keep growing and attracting new investments from different industries, IT companies, warehousing, transportation, and lot of new immigrants who are coming from Asia, especially India, China, and many other countries. They are tech workers. So they start their life in Canada with a 6-figure income, and they might initially go to cities like Manitoba, Calgary, Quebec, but eventually they prefer to relocate to Greater Toronto Area, hence putting more demand on our supply. And at the same time, I see interprovincial migration. A lot of people from Calgary, Manitoba, they're again coming to Ontario to seek better high paying jobs. So population in Canada, it is actually the fastest growing out of all G7 countries. That was the stat in the newspaper 2 days ago. Third big impact was the housing shortage. And as I say, friends, robust sale activity all across Greater Toronto area, Golden Horseshoe and Ontario. Supply is still less than 1 month. New home construction, yes, it has picked up significantly, and they are making a lot of rental buildings in different cities, but it is still way below the demand, right? And small market growth, I see small towns, they are growing 3 times faster as compared to bigger cities like Toronto, London. You go to Chatham, you go to Windsor, even go to Perth County, Listowel. Those small towns, they're beating big cities big time with the growth, and because they have land, you know what I mean? Even if you go north of London, small towns like Lucan and everything, builders are acquiring land. Elisa Craig, you go towards Sarnia, Exeter, all those towns, they are attracting a lot of investments from the builders. And with again lockdown standing, I got a text from my gym in the morning. I think we are again going to lockdown. They want me to book a time. So, it's interesting times we are living. It seems like repeat, but I believe in my, heart this year will be way better for everybody. And we probably will overcome this pandemic challenge. So as I said, friends, the Bank of Canada is again holding the interest rate really low. The overnight policy target rate is 0.25 till second quarter of 2022. And at some point, they're going to increase. But at the same time, it is still historically low. And if I talk about growth of prices, London house prices have risen 165% in last 5 years. Even the small town of 401, if you come from Woodstock, the next town over on the left south side is Tillsonburg. I have invested with my clients in last 3 years. It got explosive growth, 156% growth in Tillsonburg. And if I talk about other major government policies, yes, they are working on few. I won't be surprised in next 3 months if they come up with certain new policies, especially increasing the down payment for investment properties. Instead of 20%, they might say now you need 35%. They're considering ban on blind bidding in multiple offer situation, and they might go against anti-flipping tax. Maybe, they want people to own the property which you bought for flipping for minimum 12-month period. And they're considering temporary ban on foreign buyers in any non-recreational property, meaning any housing sector. They want a ban, right? So is it possible to do that for the government, to make the housing affordable? I don't know. What do you think? Leave your comments below and tell me, how do you think we can fix it, right? I believe simply increasing supply won't cut it. It is a part of that answer, but this is not enough. I believe we have to tighten the mortgage, qualification, especially the refis and, those things, to put a lid on it, right? But again, when the investors are the main drivers, no amount of demand can satisfy. You know what I mean? It can lead to more volatility, irrational exuberance. There's no fundamentals, right? So let's see what happens. Government tried to curb demand initially in 2018 by putting foreign buyer tax, vacant house tax, and last year they also put a lid on Airbnb rules in different communities in around GTA. But again, amount of influx of people coming to Greater Toronto area and surrounding areas versus the new homes being built, supply is way off, right? So that is something they have to figure it out. And another thing, big impactor is missing the middle housing. What is middle housing? Instead of making bigger detached houses, government have to figure out how they can change the zoning flexibilities under the Planning Act to create more townhouses, stack condos in any infill land close, especially to the major transit route. And currently what I see is, I talk to a lot of city halls where, my clients buy properties to create a duplex or triplex. I find there's a lot of neighborhoods where there's exclusionary zoning policies in place which stop people from buying a property, tearing it down to make a duplex, triplex, to increase the supply, right? And I think we still have very few people living per kilometer radius. If I compare Toronto versus like a bigger cities, example like a Paris, they said in Paris there's 20,300 people per square kilometer, whereas in Toronto there's only 4,150 people living per square kilometers, meaning Paris has less single family homes. They have dense block of mid-rises. So we can't, have single family homes moving to, going future. We need to accommodate all this new immigration, new generation of first-time buyers to make housing more affordability. At the same time, I keep, reinforcing this point to all, any buyers who are looking this video. Please don't sit on the sideline, ignore negative news in the media, and stop waiting for market to crash. It is a very, very dangerous game, friends. So the best financial decision you can take today is to buy your primary residence, live 5, 10, 15 years there, enjoy, build your equity, because no economist, nobody knows when the market is going to slow. We might have the same cycle, up cycle this year, heading to 2023, right? So my advice to the buyer again is, remember, first house is never your dream house. Keep your emotions in check, and whenever you have opportunity, just enter the property ladder. Take small steps, buy a small condo and build equity, then move to a bigger townhouse or a detached house if you wish. And right now, any given offer night, I'm seeing the nice good houses, they're attracting actually 15, 20, 30 offers on the bidding day. Whereas some properties which are kind of dated, which need a little bit TLC, those are not attracting, sometimes many offers. So look for opportunities where you can get into the market, because as I said, before you work with any agent, set the maximum price prior to the offer night. You have a number in mind, go for it, because market is very competitive and there might be some people who will overpay. Right, there might be one emotional bidder that is, that has lost, bidding in previous houses, and he's really going after it, and emotionally he might not make a very rational decision. But again, that is the market we deal with. So work with a local experienced agent about market value range of the house you're looking to buy and bid on it, and so you don't bid on the properties that are out of your reach. At the end, friends, expect pandemic filled seller market to continue in 2022. And as I said, housing supply is still very short in Canada. We are just building 200 new homes every 100,000 homes, whereas our neighbors in US, they're building 1.2 million homes. Yes, America is a way bigger country, 10 times probably more population than Canada. But as I said, there has to be more rules and regulations have to be in place, and the federal government, municipal government, everybody has to work together to make sure we put zoning in place which encourages multi-residential, increase densification, increase granny suites, or subsidize people to rent their basements and give them some tax incentives. I hope you like the video. As I said, leave your comments how you think we can fix this housing market. I believe there's, if they increase the interest rate, tighten up the mortgage guidelines, and put some kind of investment investors taxes, it might give it a breathing space for first time buyers. But all in all, I'm bullish in real estate market. I don't see the first quarter the prices coming down. So all of the friends, thanks for watching your video. God bless. And if you're in a market looking to invest, buy anywhere in Greater Toronto area, Golden Horseshoe, Kitchener-Waterloo, London, give our team Supermax a call. You can reach me at my website www.supermax.ca. My direct number is 647-961-2639. And if you're a new real estate agent looking to join a brokerage and want to serve Greater Toronto area, Kitchener-Waterloo, London, Windsor, give me a call for a private consultation. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. Stay safe.